So it's day two of, well, it was day two of the Tugboat Roundup, and we just left this morning about 10 o'clock. There's some weather that's going to be coming in, so we left a little bit early from the Tugboat Roundup and we headed up the Champlain Canal. We went through locks 1 and 2 already, and we stopped in Mechanicsville. We're just going to do some restocking of some supplies, necessarily beer, and then we're going to head up and we're going to keep heading north. We're going to see what the weather is, and our goal is to either hit lock 5 or up to lock 7 there, where the Champlain Canal breaks off from the Hudson. So we'll show you some more video, and then we're going to show you how we lock through a lock. So we'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Lock through on the locks there on the canal. So we're going to actually approach Champlain lock number 3. So we're just clearing Mechanicsville, so I'm going to call them on the radio and see what happens. I think there's a boat coming downstream which will work out in our favor because we're just below the lock. So let's see what they have to say. So Champlain lock 3, Champlain lock 3. This is the vessel Toto headed northbound.
Champlain lock 3 copies. It's going to be about 10 minutes. I just took in a southbound boat.
Perfect, thank you so much. We'll be waiting for the light. So what you do is you just call them and they'll let you know. Sometimes if you can team up with some other boats that are headed in one direction, they'll lock you through, or sometimes they'll make you wait just to see if there's some boats that are gonna go up with you. So that's the first step. The second thing too is we make sure we have the bow thrusters on. We get everything ready. We have a chart for the area. We've watched our chart. And in the second part I'm gonna show you, or JP's gonna show you how we put the lines out and then actually how we lock through a lock. So we'll show you in just a second. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, like, being in a big lock like this, and it doesn't, until you're a little tiny boat, you don't see the scale of how big your boat is, the lock is compared. So you can see behind us, they're closing the locks here. I don't know what the lift here, it looks like it's 30 something feet, so the lift here is going to be 30 feet. So we prepare and we do a couple other things. We've got lines on the side of all these locks, you can see. And then JP has chosen to pick a pole here, and he's just wrapped a line around it. So we never ever tie off to these here, because if the boat moves too much or you get stuck, so you always have one hand free to keep an eye on the boat. And then the lock will usually fill pretty gently, and it keeps the boat to one side, but sometimes you just have to be careful about the moving around in the lock. But the lock tenders are awesome, and they're really good about filling locks. So we'll show you on the way out, motoring out, but that's pretty much how we lock through. We'll show you on the way out. just made a quick stop in Mechanicsville, and the nice part about the Erie and Champlain Canal system is that a lot of the towns like along the canal have all made an extra effort to attract boaters, and they do a number of things that keep people here to spend some money and stop and visit a town. So we're in Mechanicsville. They have a gorgeous bathroom facility here. You can see that they have bathrooms here set up. They have free docks, free electricity, and free water. So some of the larger vessels I'll show you that are here are pretty typical of people that just stop along the canal. We're here in September, so it's a little bit slower, but during the year, like, these are filled up, and the boaters come ashore, they spend money in local restaurants, so the towns have made a pretty good investment in making sure that boaters have the amenities on the shore. So it's pretty neat. So we're gonna get back on the boat, we're gonna keep headed north of day 1, 2, 3 of our adventure, and we'll see where we end up. So we're actually at lock C7 here on the Champlain Canal, and this is a cool lock because what happens here is the old Champlain Canal actually breaks off and continues to be the Champlain Canal, and the Hudson River breaks off to the left. That goes up to the Adirondacks. We're going to be headed northbound. You can see the gates opening here. This is lock C7, and this will take us up to Whitehall and all the way up into Lake Champlain, the lower area. Hey, good morning. We're on day 3 of our adventures with Toto on the Champlain Canal in Lower Champlain. We spent the night last night in Fort Edward. This is a public marina and a dock that the town offers for boaters who are passing through. We spent the night, and it's a great place. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a high dock, so you can see down here the boat is way down there, but there's ample places to get aboard and then camp, and there's a place over here to camp that's provided, so that's where JP spent. Today we're about halfway through the Champlain Canal. We're at mile marker 36. We're going to be headed north. We're going up to the Whitehall, and then we're going to explore the lower area of Lake Champlain. So once we pack up, we'll show you some more video of us going through the locks in the Champlain Canal. See you in a bit. Up to Lake Champlain here. So we crossed lock 11. We headed northward about 20 miles, and we made it all the way to Ticonderoga, which is a historic fort. It's just off the anchorage where we're at, and it's about sunset, as you can see behind me here. We're gonna have some dinner, we're gonna anchor for the night, and then we're gonna probably head north as long as the weather's good. But in the morning we'll show you a little bit more where we're anchoring. So other than that, hope you enjoy the sunset. So while JP's out fishing, I'll tell you a little bit about what we did last night. We anchored off of Fort Ticonderoga, which is in the southern end of the Champlain Lake. This portion of the lake is actually called the river section because it's pretty narrow. It doesn't open up very wide, and it's only about a mile or a mile and a half wide at the widest points. We anchored off in some good holding. spent the night there, and then got up this morning, made some coffee and breakfast, and then we're headed north. We're going to try and make it up to Crown Point, which is really the opening point of the Lake Champlain area, and then it opens up into a wide lake. There's a bridge there, there's a memorial, I'll show you that. It's the weather's going to be awesome today, sunny and warm. We're expecting some severe thunderstorms tomorrow, so we're going to go up a little bit ways and then make a run for it down the south. So the one thing about the Ranger Tug 21 is it doesn't do well in stormy weather, especially waves and wake. So our goal today is to spend a day fishing, going up the lake, and then try and make it back for safe harbor tonight, and then duck back into the Champlain Canal first thing in the morning for a trip headed back south. So stay along. Hopefully JP will catch some fish today, and we'll update you as our trip goes along. So enjoy the rest of this evening. Crown Point here, and we're at the top of the Champlain Memorial, which is really cool. So you get a great view here over the entire lake. So this is kind of the split point between the southern end of Lake Champlain, which people often call the river area, and then the northern part beyond here is really where Lake Champlain opens. We're going to stay in the southern part. Some people describe it as two different lakes. They say that this side has a lot of clay on it, and then once you go north, there's a lot more rock and stone bottom, so it's changed kind of the ecology and the fish and everything. Unfortunately, this is about our turning point because the weather's going to keep us in the southern area of the canal and the lake. But in the meanwhile, we're going to take a break here and then head south. So in the meanwhile, enjoy the view.